Good morning, everybody. I think we're live. How are we all doing? Hope you're well. Chat's lighting up already. OK's is in. Simon, good morning. Nick, thank you all for being here. What was GSX saying? Do you want to board the crew? Yeah, I guess. I love how the cargo just whizzes across the taxi lines there. It's brilliant. Right, let the record show that I am a dedicated and committed streamer this morning. I've had a text message saying that my new iPhone is ready for collection, and I'm still here doing this. Still, something to look forward to later. Very much looking forward to that. It's been a long time. Have we hit 7k? I haven't actually looked. Hang on, let me check. Oh lordy, yeah, we have 7,003 according to what I'm seeing. Nice. That's amazing. Well, thank you all for the support. I really do mean that. Still boggles my little mind. It really does. That's dedication. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I was last night when I got the text. They were like, your phone can be picked up tomorrow from like 9 AM. I was like, oh no, I've already scheduled the stream. Still. Alrighty. So I figured we would go ahead and take the Fenix out today because I don't really feel like I've flown it nearly enough recently. And it was a plane that we've been struggling with on and off. So kind of thought we'd do some short hops, UK and Ireland, just to get some landings under our belt. Because I'm still not happy with the way I'm kind of landing this thing. So rather than do like a 3-hour Gatwick down to Ibiza or whatever, you know, it's probably not 3 hours, but you get the point. Do some little hops, see if we can get some experience under our belts, because I think it's fair to say we need it. Okay, so for those that aren't familiar with the airport codes, EGGD, we are at Bristol Airport and we're going over to Dublin, which is a real world route. Quite often serviced by Ryanair and I think EasyJet do as well, I think. But yeah, obviously being a Dublin route, Ryanair tend to have quite a large presence at this airport for the Dublin routes and other routes as well. Go all over Europe from Bristol. Nice little airport in real life. Small but perfectly formed. What is that bus doing? Goodness, they need to work. I mean, I'm sorry, but that is just shocking. That is absolutely shocking, the way that bus just manoeuvred. I come on, seriously. Just like slow it down or something. My goodness. It's like they're like a little rat that's like running across the runway. Yeah, vehicles definitely need improvement. Definitely need improvement.
Passengers boarding started.
Okay, so everyone's busy getting on, so we should be busy getting on with setting up the plane, I suppose. Oh man, right, what do I do? I've almost forgotten. So battery 1. Battery 2. Let's use the external power. And we will get APU master on. And we will do APU start. Good morning, Bevy. How the devil are you? Okay, let's do navs. 1, 2, and 3. going to wait for this APU to say start, or available rather, I should say. Oh man, I'm excited about this iPhone. Not gonna lie. There we go, APU start available. Let's get APU bleed on, engine pumps on, cruise supply, emergency lights, armed, no smoking, auto.
I'm right next to her. Thank you.
What am I forgetting? Morning, Pidge. Which is why my speed brake was out there, but whatever. Yeah, doing good, thanks, Bevy. I was just saying to the others that I've got an iPhone waiting for me for collection. I got the text through last night saying it's ready from 9 AM, which is now 9:37. But I decided to do this instead. Do engine fire alarm tests? I guess we could. I mean, there's no failures on, but... a bit late for the APU, I suppose. We've already got it on. Maybe we should do some failures, because frankly, I mean, clicking those 3 buttons, knowing what the result is going to be before you even click it does seem a bit pointless. But if we had failures on, I suppose that would be more appropriate. Hey, Baguette.
I'm right next to her. Thank you.
All right. I didn't get my charts. Can we do charts from within here? Let's do charts from within here, then you can all see it. Okay, let's unload that flight because that was our last one. Import flight from Simbrief. Brazil to Dublin. There we go. So there's today's route. Fairly standard Bristol to Dublin route. So out over Wales, so should get some views of Cardiff. There's Cardiff Airport, I believe. Over the valleys and out towards, where is that? Is that sort of near Haverfordwest? I think it might be. Not sure. Up over the Irish Sea. Then we kind of do this classic Dublin crescent as we come in. So around and around and around and around and around, and then in on final. Now, Simbrief did want to send me to 27 right, but I think... sorry, 28 right. But I've got a funny feeling that is the one that the scenery doesn't have, so I changed it to 28 left. There we go, ILS 28 left. Good. Okay, so flight init has worked. Let's go to init data request. Flight number, let's just do our standard one, not 320. Cost index today is 21. Cruising at 24,000. So nothing crazy, but then it's not fast, so that does make sense. It does make sense. Alright, let's do our weights. Let's go and look over here. So 552, 29.5. 552 slash 29.5. Good morning, Ethan. Let's confirm that. Okay, let's go to our departure performance app. And it's these numbers over here we want. 126, 135, 135, flaps 1 slash UP0.1, and 67. So we'll put that in. Wait a minute, what was that? Flaps were 1 slash UP0.1. And I've forgotten these numbers already. 126, 135, 135. Very nice. Okay, so taking off from Bristol, runway 27.
Passenger's bus is coming.
Using Bracken 1 X-ray. Insert that. Then into Dublin. ILS 28 left. Using the VAT R3L, I think. Here it is. And we're going to via pizza. It's not looking bad.
Passengers boarding starting.
Okay, let's check on local pressure. 1014. Now, what's the plan on the way out? 6,000 feet until Bracken. Then we go up to 240. Get the train on. Let's lock the door. Predictive wind shear on. Very nice. How are we doing outside? Passengers are still loading. Almost done. I was thinking I should make an air not kind of livery, I guess you could say, or a pack for GSX. So the stairs, instead of saying Menzies, could have my my badge on it. That'd be pretty neat. Hey Josh. Come on, slow coaches, we need to get going. It reminds me of being on a school trip, this does. I went to Florence in Italy on a school trip. So we took off to come home from Pisa. And I can remember, I think I was like one of the last two. It was me and my mate. We were the last two to get our tickets checked at the little gate area inside before you head on out to the plane. And it's a British Airways flight back to London. And I can really vividly remember knowing that all the teachers were already on the plane and there were two identical British Airways planes in front of me. Almost like the start of a Home Alone movie. I'm thinking, which one do I get on? And obviously I was a bit of a plane nerd at the time. Had one been an A320 and one been a 737, I might have told them apart and been like, oh, I need to get on that one because I knew we were flying on an A320. But they were both A320, so I couldn't really do a lot. In the end, I just stuck my head on one and just sort of, almost like when you get on a bus. Like, excuse me, mate, is this one going to London? It's like, yeah, in you come. It's like, okay, cool, thanks. It all worked out, but I often look back on it and think how sketchy that could have been. Hey, boarding completed. School's getting tough since I'm in Indonesia. Hey, you do us proud, Josh. Alright, stairs should be clearing off now. We can start thinking about a pushback. Careful of my wing, Mr. Stairs driver. Okay. So at the risk of forgetting something, I think we're pretty good. So what do we got? Let's just double check things. Let's get our beacon light on. Cheers, Josh. Take it easy, mate. Let's get the passenger strapped in. Put some dim lights on. Beacon is on. Okay, let's get ready to push. Now, let's just... I made a mess of that, didn't I? So we want to take off on runway 27, so we're going this way. So we want tail left, nose right.
This parking is too small for your
Yes.
aircraft.
Yes. All right, thank you very much, GSX.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback. Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
Jolly good. Oh, I want to get my new phone. I'm excited. I thought I wasn't excited about a new phone. I was like, oh, I don't really care about phones anymore. But actually now it's come down to it. I am quite excited about getting a new phone. I do maintain, though, I think they've got a little bit boring in recent years.
Locking gear.
Alright, what did we say? We wanted nose right, tail left. Oh, we need to remove our chocks. Of course we do. I always forget that in the Fenix.
Release parking brakes, please.
Parking brakes released.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
Right, let's see if we get an engine start just by me using the buttons on my throttle unit. Because last time I couldn't do it. I had to use my mouse, which I thought was a bit weird. A similar story again, I think. Because it ain't doing a thing. Okay, so that didn't work at all. Why was that? See, now it works. Now I'm using my mouse, it's fine.
Please set parking brakes. Waiting your confirmation for a good engine start.
What mods do I use? So, besides the aircraft, so that is the PMDG 737 and the A320, I use GSX. I use SimToolkit Pro, although that's like a standalone app rather than a mod. I use Flight Recorder and Navigraph for the charts and stuff like that. And FSLTL. There's part of me that loves all the mods and kind of like really appreciates it all. But then there's another part of me that's like, maybe you're better off keeping it simple, so to speak. That is so weird. Right, so I don't know if you were just watching then, but I turned my engine 1 on and off using my controls on my Airbus throttle. Couldn't get an engine start. Clicked it using the mouse, and now it's starting. Something weird is going on there. Cheers, Baguette, have a good day. That is weird. That is weird. See, now it's starting. Alright. taxi lights. Auto brakes, max. Arm the speed brakes. Flaps 1. Let's tell GSX it can go away.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine. Start. You can disconnect.
Very good. Got this nagging feeling I'm forgetting something. Turn off the APU actually while I think about it. APU bleed off. APU off. Taxi lights on. Could we do a long stream sometime then? We could do. I've got to be honest. I got so bored doing that long haul flight back to London from Dubai. I'm not sure I'd want to do long haul that regularly on the channel. I don't mind doing it every now and then. It's like a bit of a
Tow truck disconnected.
as like a
Bypass pin
special.
removed.
That's not fair. I didn't
Left
get
is
bored,
clear. Right is clear.
but I don't feel like I could do a lot of it. Put it that way. I'm honestly in awe of like the long haul pilots because that must get really boring. Like, can you imagine like taking off from London and then being like, right, 12 hours to go until we get to wherever. At least if you're flying EasyJet for like 12 hours, it's like you're up and you're down and you're up and you're down and you're up and you're busy. There's stuff going on, but just hitting cruise and oh my word, that must be. And I know they take breaks and they go for little sleeps and stuff, but even so. Doesn't feel like flying to me, that. Okay, I think we're ready for a taxi. Camera is on. $7K indeed, yeah. I only noticed this morning, Rob, when someone pointed it out to me. That's really cool. 10K next. I'll tell you what, okay, I'll do you a long haul at 10K, but until then, blimey. Maybe the 777 will tempt me into one. But yeah, that one we did for 5K over the summer, Dubai back to Heathrow, that was a long old day. I don't have an issue streaming for that long, but to be in cruise for that long doesn't seem like a good use of time in a way. England to Sydney, blimey. Yeah, well, you can do Perth now, can't you? Isn't that like 17 hours in a Dreamliner? Yikes. It must be a real issue for airlines and for the crew, like actual kind of boredom of pilots. Because when you get into cruise, I know there's ATC and stuff, but it doesn't seem like there's a lot going on. Especially over the Atlantic. Once you get on your track, because there's no actual ATC, is there, over the Atlantic? You kind of get assigned a track, and you enter the track, and you're given a speed, and that's that, really. Ooh, bit heavy on the brakes there, sorry everybody. Right, let's get lights on. TCAS. I feel like I've got everything good. Let's start the clock. Netflix. Yeah. Yeah, maybe if you could turn the ND into like a little telly down here and just put on like something on. You did that route on VATSIM? My word. How much of it was on Unicom? Must have been quite a lot, right? Okie dokie. I think we're all good. Let's get ourselves over to Dublin, shall we? See if we can get a landing, semi-decent landing under our belts. Okay, we're going to try the flex gate and the throttle today. We feel the aircraft going to the left almost immediately. Lots of rudder required today. Okay, let's rotate. Positive climb. Gear up. Back into climb. We are definitely crabbing at the moment. Flaps up. Let's make our first turn. Definitely feel the wind on the aircraft. A bit bumpy up here. level at 6,000. Autopilot on. And away we go. Alright, so we're staying at 6,000 feet until this waypoint here, BCN. Then we'll begin climbing up to flight level 240. And I know it's yelling at us to change to standard pressure, however, I'd rather, it's because the transition is at 6,000 feet, I'd rather we do it once we're beyond BCN, when we start to climb past 6,000. Then we can crack on and get our way over to Dublin. Greetings from the LPPT area. Your latest videos about settings have been really helpful. Nice. I'm glad it helped. I really am. Cardiff down there, I think. It's like the M4 sort of runs along, and then doesn't the M4 end at like Swansea or something? I remember driving that way to get the ferry to Ireland, and it was like all good roads, and then the M4 stopped being the M4. It wasn't so good. Okay, we can probably disarm our ground spoilers now. We got 16 viewers, have we? Nice. I had not realised that. I tend not to keep an eye on it anymore. There was a point where I did. I was always like obsessing over it almost, and it wasn't good. You get a little bit crazy if you're not careful. Like it could go from 16 to 12, and I'd be like, why have 4 people left? What did I do wrong? It's just like, it's just how YouTube works. People hop around all over. More than 80 stable, seriously? That's really good. I bet that's the X3D chip doing its work, right? One would hope. Alright. 24,000. Please and thank you. Standard. Got to do the other side, otherwise it will yell at us, saying that they're out of sync. Hey, am I a VATSIM? No, not right now. VATSIM is something that I'm very much in the learning phase of, so I don't know if you've seen it on the channel. There is a VATSIM video that I've put up, sort of documenting my first flight. So we are continuing to learn VATSIM, and I'll be putting more videos up on my adventures of VATSIM, but not doing it on stream at the moment. Keeping it to the videos and keeping it off stream for now. Do I use Sim Toolkit Pro for the overlays? Yeah, that's right. I have a custom overlay. So I went into the coding of it, like the CSS and all that sort of stuff, the HTML, and made a little custom one to kind of look like my colours. The idea was, if I show you, it would kind of match my livery. That was the idea anyway. I've watched that, but you should do multiple flights on VATSIM. Yeah, that's the plan. There will be more, don't worry. Alright, 10,000, lights off. It's a cloudy old day today. It'd be cool to know what kind of materials I used to prep and learn comms on VATSIM. Nervous about doing it for my first flight. I don't really think I did do any. I found a cheat sheet online. I googled for VATSIM cheat sheet, and it's like a Google Doc where it kind of walks you through your typical kind of comms that you would expect. But that also has its dangers if you go into it almost like too robotic. If a controller deviates, and they might, from what that Google Doc says, and you're left in a position where you don't know what to say because it doesn't fit the rules. You could end up in a bit of a what do I say kind of situation. But if you do end up in that situation, just ask. I mean, all the controllers that I dealt with on my first flight were absolutely golden. Like, they couldn't have been more helpful, they couldn't have been more nice. There was one occasion, I think, where they said, or they tried to tell me to go to Juliet 4 via whatever, and I caught all of the taxiways, but then by the time I'd written all the taxiways down, I was like, damn it, where did they say to go? Was it Juliet 3 or Juliet? And I just asked, and they were like, yeah, no problem, Juliet 4. Now, I think had I pretended that I knew where they said originally and guessed and got it wrong, putting myself in their shoes as a controller, that'd be really annoying. I'd much rather someone said, oh, hey, can you just tell me what the holding point was again? But yeah, the crib sheets, and just park yourself up at a gate and tune into the frequency and just listen. That was probably one of the best ways of doing it, because you'll hear people make mistakes, and you'll hear people saying things, the same thing but in a slightly different way, but the message still gets across, you know, that kind of thing. Is there a reason you picked that particular route? A lot of people recommend Edinburgh because there's only got one runway. Taxiways are relatively simple. And actually, basically, I'll tell you what happened. I wanted to do my first VATSIM flight. It was starting to bug me that I hadn't done it. My wife and kids were away for the weekend. I had the afternoon to myself. So I was like, right, let's VATSIM it. And in my head, I was like, let's see if Edinburgh's online, and then we'll go somewhere. Don't know where, but somewhere. Maybe London, but I don't know. Maybe Manchester, couldn't decide. Managed to get online, connected to VATSIM, and Edinburgh was offline. So it was just a case of what is online, and Gatwick and Manchester were. So I did that. That's the rationale. That's as far as my thought process went, really. There were some people in the comments that said like, "Whoa, you're crazy! Like you shouldn't be. You know, that's a really complex route to do for your first flight." Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. Hey Ashi, nice to see you, mate. How you doing? What's going on? We're going to Dublin. Trying to get a bit of experience in this Fenix, because the Fenix is still being a bit bothersome for me. Not the greatest in the Fenix, I don't mind telling you. Alright, should we let the passengers out for a bit? I'm very, very aware though, Ashley, that I've got an iPhone ready for pickup. I scheduled the stream, and then last night they texted me being like, good news, your iPhone's ready for pickup from 9 AM tomorrow. It's like, no, I've just scheduled the stream. The other thing, Lanky, is VATSIM do events. I think they call it like First Wings, where VATSIM will provide a route, and they provide controllers that know that everyone's going to need loads of help. So no one's expecting you to know anything really besides the basics. And they're there to support you. Like, no one's going to mind if you make mistakes. That's kind of the whole point, right? Is that they do an event where people can have a first go, and so it might be worth looking at those. I think you have to book into them. I mean, in hindsight, maybe I should have done that. The other option is, where is that advertised? I think they advertise it on their website. If you Google for like VATSIM First Wings, it'll probably bring up the right page. But they do various different routes, so they kind of rotate them. So they'll make a route, they'll make sure it's kind of ATC'd most of or all of the way. And yeah, you can give it a go then. I mean, to be clear, I've still only done that one flight that I made the video on. I have yet to do my second flight. So I'm still very much in the same boat as you, kind of feeling a bit apprehensive, not quite sure, don't want to make any mistakes, but having done that first one, I feel a lot happier. Another thing you can do, of course, is if you download vPilot, which is the application you need to connect the sim into VATSIM, is to do an observer flight. I did a couple of those before I connected on my own. Just looking at the mini-map, I thought we were going off course, but we're actually not. I think the mini-map is not up to date. But yeah, the observer flights are really helpful. So I'd essentially look on map.vatsim.net, look at an airport, see who's parked up at a gate, see where they're going, park up next to them, and go into observer mode, which basically means I can see them, but they can't see me. So they've got no idea that you're there. You can't upset anybody, you can't interfere, get in the way. So you can kind of pretend that you are the aircraft that you park up next to and listen for their call sign and follow the instructions. And basically just follow them to the destination. So it's a nice way to try before you buy. Oh, sorry, Simon, I missed that. You said you got the ATR off the marketplace, planning to do some island hops. Yeah, you can maybe do what, like Guernsey, Jersey. Newquay to Edinburgh. That's another one, isn't it? You see quite a lot of ATRs coming out of there. Fairly certain Aer Lingus have some ATRs as well, don't they? They must do a lot of routes out of Dublin. It's just sort of like Edinburgh and Manchester, those kind of destinations. Right, won't stop a descent. Not far. Yeah, we're really not far. So what are we doing? Going down to 7, then 2.5. Alright, fine. Fine. Okay, arrivals. (2:30 and 9). (14 degrees, 1007). Let's bring up the charts. (402) will be our decision altitude. Hey Jaleese, sorry I didn't see you there. They do Bristol Dublin in the ATR, do they? Cool. Thanks, Jaleese. I do appreciate it. I appreciate you sticking around for as long as you have as well. You've been a great supporter of the channel. There we go. Start our descent, shall we? Yeah, it's a great plane, Simon, and great value as well. I mean, you do always have the fallback, Lanky, of saying, can you put it in chat? So within vPilot, there is a chat section, or like a text kind of area. So you do always have that option. Or just simply say, could you repeat that slower, please? And they will, I'm sure they will. Maybe try some observer flights, Lanky, if you haven't already. I mean, what I will say, I don't know if you saw the video with the VATSIM flight, but the comments were so eye-opening to me. I mean, it was really strange. One of the controllers that dealt with me actually found the video and commented on it, and made the point of saying, "Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Like you asked when you had questions, we love that. That's brilliant." And then I actually had an EasyJet pilot reach out in the comments saying, "I'm actually EasyJet crew at Gatwick in real life, and just so you know, we mess up ATC calls all the time. So, you know." Don't worry about it, basically, I think, is the overarching message. We're all human. I think there's this kind of narrative that if you're going to go on VATSIM, you must be this perfect, like, robot of a pilot that can just, you know, absolutely nail it 100% of the time. And I think that's just completely unreasonable to expect that of anyone. Could I add a PC-related channel to the Discord? That's a good idea. As in, like a tech support thing, Chilice, or... Cause I thought we already had one of those. Could maybe repurpose that, because frankly, I don't think anyone's used it. Should set up a virtual airline. Yeah, so... the developer of New Sky reached out to me, actually, inviting me to have a go. So, may well go down that route. Oh yeah, Air Force Proud is, yeah, he's funny. Yeah, I bet there's some comedy gold on VATSIM. Remember once I was planning to do a flight, an observer flight out of Heathrow, and one of the controllers just came on being like, "Oh, it's way too busy, I'm going offline." Just, that was it, that was the end. It's like, Monitor Unicom 122.8, I'm off, see ya. Like, it made me laugh. There goes your lease done. I've renamed the tech support channel because no one was using it anyway. Oh, time for lights. Getting distracted. Passengers back in their seats. Simon, is that in real life or on VATSIM, you mean? Glad you're here, Lanky. Neofly, not familiar with that, Lanky. What is it? Oh, okay, VATSIM, nice. Yeah. This is the other thing, Simon. I wonder whether VATSIM's going to be any different if you start flying abroad. Even into Europe and things like that. It does make me wonder. Like, obviously I did a UK to UK flight. Yeah, okay, that makes sense, Lanky. I suppose, yeah, if given the whole vibe of Flight Sim 24, I can see what you mean. All right, so we're holding at 7,000 here. 7777777. We work our way down to 2,500 once we pass Lampo into Maxev. Then we come into land. It's funny you say that, Lanky. I sort of don't have an itch to do more than commercial flights. Like, I can almost guarantee that I probably will not touch most of what MSFS 24 is going to be. Like with the missions and stuff, like. For me, I think it's flying big old jets around the place on cool routes. That's kind of what I like. So probably going down the New Sky route is probably going to be more like my thing, which is Good, I suppose, because then you're not beholden on the flight sim developer to add stuff for you. The community can do it, and the community tends to move a lot faster. Because obviously Asobo is a big ship to turn. But I'll take any performance and graphics updates it can give us, for sure. I suppose that's one of the advantages, or would be one of the advantages, of doing the stream on VATSIM. Then anybody that wants to join in, they just can. Like, I don't need to do anything. If I'm going to do a flight from Gatwick to somewhere on VATSIM, anybody wants to join in and do the same, they can just join in and do the same. Like, I don't need to set anything up or whatever, you know? Plus, in a way, VATSIM would almost be quite a nice way to almost kind of like vet the people that are going to be flying along with you. Because their VATSIM account is on the line if they start messing around. You have to pass an exam to get into VATSIM to start with. So there's like a minimum kind of expected level of skill, rather than just having loads of people turn up and it be absolute chaos, almost like one of Air Force Proud's videos from like years ago. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, that's right, Simon. Yeah. Yeah, I love Luke's channel. It's great. Yeah, I mean, it's nothing too crazy, Ethan. You're quite right. But I think what it does do, it almost serves as a deterrent for those that might cause trouble. If you were to compare and contrast that to me maybe just doing multiplayer, just the basic multiplayer within the sim, like that is just, that's just nuts. Because there's no barrier to entry, really, is there? Just, and there's no kind of expected code, it's just like it's a free-for-all. Oh, I hope we have a good landing. I feel like I'm struggling in the Fenix. I feel like I spent the last year and a half like really getting to know the fly-by-wire And then I got the Fenix thinking, well, it can't be that different. It's loads different. Wildly different aircraft. Brilliant fun to learn, of course. But just in that phase where it's like, ugh, just can't seem to get a good landing. Consistently, anyway. Do I prefer 737 or A320? So if you'd asked me a year ago, Ethan, I'd have said A320 all day long. Because I was flying the fly-by-wire a lot. And then I bought the 737 and I was like, what on earth is this? This is so different. Like, I just couldn't fathom how it could be so different yet so similar. In terms of like size and... And I spent a long time not really enjoying the 737 because I found it quite hard. I was struggling a lot with it. Alright. What was local pressure? 1007. But now I'd probably say the Boeing now. Because I have such a good time in the Boeing. Now I've gotten used to it. Okay, so we've got decel coming up in a moment. Start slowing ourselves down. Do auto brake, medium stay. Alright, here we go. So, why is it VAP 132? Let's get the volume up for landing, shall we? Let's get the cam on. Quite a bit of wind going on there at the moment. Still a little bit confused about why it's got VAP 132. Yet we're here at
2,500.
nearly 150. Get down. Whoa, that's a serious bit of wind we got here today. Okay, 3 greens. No visual yet. Well, I think it should be a good one, if nothing else, for you all to watch. I'm not sure it's going to be a particularly smooth landing. Still no visual. Ah, there we go. Hoping the wind is going to start to die off a little bit. For better or worse, I have control.
$1,000.
Nice to see my frames per second hitting the floor. Wow, this is seriously windy.
$500. $100 above.
Too low.
Flight slow.
Yeah, I know.
Flight slow.
100.
Flight slow.
40, 30, 20, retard. 5.
God, that was awful. That was absolutely hideous. Oh, that was a really tough landing, that. That should have been a go around. Should have been a go around. Never mind, as next time. Or rather, the next flight today. It always seems like I go too low in this plane. I always get the glide slope warning. I always go too low. And it's really annoying. I feel like I need to do something about that, but I'm not sure. Because it keeps happening consistently. That was a really sketchy landing, that was. So I'm thinking for the next flight, we'll find ourselves a gate. And I'm thinking we'll get over to Manchester. And hope that the winds are more in our favour. Yeah, that was absolutely abysmal, Alex. It really was. Still, I hope if nothing else it serves as a reminder that even those of us with YouTube channels still completely mess it up. Still, it's nice and smooth. 130 feet per minute. Just really not what we wanted. So I had the throttle in auto throttle all the way down. So I was using my joystick, which may be part of the issue. Oh, there's an osprey tail. Okay, in the interest of time and turnaround, we're going to get moving quickly. No, Dale, definitely no applause justified today. That was horrific. But still, we're going to head back to Manchester now. Just going to make us a flight plan real quick. Yeah, we completely stuffed that one up. Okay, dokie. So, APU is on. So we should now be able to turn off our engines. Alright. Let's go into the Fenix app. Yeah, should have gone around. Basically, is the top and bottom of it. Okay, let's just re-import that flight. There we go. Good. Yeah, somewhat kicking myself over that one. But these things happen. Alright, let's go to... where am I going? MCDU, ATSU. Yeah, I should have really gone around. I don't know why I didn't now. Silly me. Yeah, I always seem to dip really low the glide slope in the Fenix. It's kind of annoying. It's obviously something I'm doing wrong, but I'm just struggling to work out what it is. Oh, cheers, Dale. Yeah, sorry the landing wasn't up to my usual standards. But these things do happen. These things do happen. Alright, what's my zero fuel weight? 552.295. Alright, we need to go to our departure app now, don't we? Hopefully we'll get a better landing into Manchester. I really hope we do, because that was shocking. Right, 68. UP. Oh, wait a minute. 1. 1/UP 0.1. $127, $135. Okay, so we're going to depart on 28 left. Using the Bofu 1A departure. And insert that. And into Manchester on 23 right. Did we just land? I'm not sure I'd call it a landing, Ashy, but we are down. Let's put it that way. That was definitely not one for the Air Not Hall of Fame. Absolutely shocking is what it was. But we live and we learn. So yeah, we're headed back to the UK, but we're going to Manchester this time. I think Dale, what's frustrating me at the moment is I spent so long in the fly-by-wire A320NX, and I got pretty good at that. And then I got the Fenix, and now I'm terrible in it, and I'm having a hard time adjusting. It's basically what the top and bottom of it is. Let's go via MCT, should we, today? Just sort of go over the airfield and then do a teardrop. Insert. Right, let's just go through our flight plan very quickly. So, out of Dublin. And we just go all the way over the sea, hit the airfield, do a teardrop, and back. Nice. I can do that. Maybe. Although after a few moments ago, it does make you wonder. It wasn't rough, actually. It was lovely and smooth. It's 130 feet per minute, but it was a floater, and it was off center, and it was twisty, and it was nasty, and it should have been a go around all day long. Basically. Alrighty. So what's the plan out of Dublin? Can we just climb immediately? Need to stay below 9,000. Alright. 9 it is. Yeah, do watch it back, Ashy, and have a good laugh. Are you going to be a controller, Dale? That's awesome. I was thinking the other day, it must be really hard for VATSIM, because I would imagine most people want to be a pilot, right? But then that puts a pressure on the ATC that is there to deal with all those pilots, and then also it's kind of like the pilots would like more areas covered, but of course if there's not the ATC to do it, yeah, it must be a tricky one. It really must be. Right, I think we're good for a pushback. So I think we're going to do tail right, nose left.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Long waits, that surprises me. I thought they'd welcome you with open arms as long as you could hold your own.
Departure check completed.
6
Bypass
months
pin
waiting list.
inserted.
Whoa. Or I guess they want to make sure that they're getting the right people. I suppose that's the other angle.
Locking gear.
Hello from France. Cheese and wine as usual. Brilliant. Yeah, it's a good job I don't live in France. I feel like a big mouse.
Release parking brakes. Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
Alright, let's start engine number 2. Oh, they struggle with mentors for the controllers. Yeah, okay, that makes more sense, I suppose. Yeah, I guess if they've only got a certain amount of people that are able to mentor. Oh, you were in Dublin last week? That's great. I love Dublin. Good day out, Dublin. I just love Ireland in general. I could really see myself living in Ireland one day, you know. Quite easily. It's got a very chilled vibe in Ireland that I like a lot.
Set parking brakes. Waiting your confirmation for good engine start.
Alright, so we are going to take... We probably can't make that turn. We're going to go along... along taxiway number 4, Foxtrot 2, come back around. Oh, sorry, GSX.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine. Start. You can disconnect.
Yeah, so basically up there and turn around. Good, auto brake max. Good, good, good.
Unlocking gear.
Alright, so we can get the APU bleed off, APU master off. Lights are into taxi.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed. Left is clear, right is clear.
Let's wait for Tug to get out the way and we'll get moving. Get back to Manchester. Okay. Let's see if we can do a bit better this time, shall we? That's the thing with doing all this on YouTube. Sometimes you just do your mistakes in front of everybody. It used to really stress me out when I first started the channel. I used to hate landing. I used to like doing the takeoff and the cruise, like chatting to you all, and then I would always in the back of my mind be like dreading the landing. Sort of thinking, oh, I'm going to mess this up, and inevitably that kind of thinking can often make you mess it up. Right, now isn't there 2 runways here? Don't you have to be a little bit careful? I think we go down here. Although I could be wrong. Yes, I was wrong. We go over this one, that's what we do. Always get confused with these 2 runways being the way they are. This is the one we want. So I feel a little bit more stressed about the upcoming landing at Manchester, given that we've just had a bad one. I feel like my confidence is knocked a little bit. That's all part of it, I'm afraid. Still, at least we've got a nice interesting departure. More or less straight out and then start doing some turning. It's all good. Okay, let's see if we can have a better run of it this time. Let's bring the engines... Oh, I know what I need to do. Lights. Mustn't forget that. And engine selector back into normal. There we go. Right. I'm stressed. I'm rushing. I can tell I am. Calm yourself down. Engines to 40%. Holding it on the brakes. rotate. Positive climb. No, Dale, I'm just a nerd on the internet. Alright, turn coming up. Okay, standard pressure. Holding it at basically the max bank angle, 30 degrees. There we go, levelling off because of course we've got the restriction of 9,000 feet at Dub. So I just want to make sure we're staying at 9,000 feet. There we go, that's holding it nicely. Then once we're clear of here, we can just crack on up to flight level, whoops, 230. It's not going to be a bad idea to get that plugged in now. Get the yeah, we're past Dub. Let's get the autopilot on. Lovely. can take in the views. Okay, let's get lights off because we're coming up to 10,000. Yeah, just a hobby this for me, Dale. It all started on a bit of a dare, really. Someone said to me, you should put one of your flight sim landing videos on YouTube. I bet people would like that. And I was like, why would people watch that? That seems a bit weird. And I did it anyway, and people watched. I was like, no way. So I uploaded another one, and another one, and another one, and another one. Then I was like, well, maybe I should do some live streaming, and then maybe I should make some videos about the sim and computers, because I kind of know about computers. I've been in computers for years, and just kind of snowballed, really. We've got far where we are. I must admit though, this Fenix really is kicking my butt at the moment. It really is. I mean, I'm sure we'll get there. We got there with the 737 and I thought I never would with that, but yeah, this Fenix, it always seems to be the common pattern is, and we'll see if it happens again at Manchester. It may do, it may not, but it always seems to be that we end up dipping way beneath the glide slope. And then we get the glide slope warnings, and then you kind of have to like correct it, and then you end up coming in too high if you overcorrect, and then if you do what I did at Dublin, you make a mess on the centre line as well. So yeah, I'm really struggling with this plane in general at the moment. So this is certainly not a stream to take any notes from. It's more me learning in public for your amusement, I suppose. Christos, hello from Zurich. Nice. Never been to Zurich. Yeah, I've heard good things, Christos. I'd like to visit, I really would. Let's get those ground spoilers disarmed. Flaps are up, lights are off, gear is up. I'd say we're in a good position right now. Hopefully we'll get a nice landing at Manchester, then I can go and get my phone. I'm very excited about that. That's nice of you to say that, Simon. I mean, you could argue that I've had this channel now for like coming up 2 years. I should be way better than I am, but I think you see like some of the biggest names in this space and even real pilots they drop the ball occasionally, you know. I don't think there was anything particularly wrong with what I did on that landing, except that I didn't go around when I should have. That's what it was. I was reluctant to go around because I wanted to land, I wanted to get it done. I was being impatient. That's what I need to get better at. Well, I've said a few times, Dale, like, the day that I can plant these planes down like a robot every time, make no mistakes, do it all perfectly, right on the touchdown markers, probably the day I get bored and stop. I think it's the learning journey that keeps this fun. Yeah, if I was to basically turn into like an autopilot button and just be able to bring it down perfectly, almost like I'd press the auto land button, don't know, I think I'd get boring. So it's definitely the challenge that keeps the flame alive for me. Yeah, very well said, Simon. That's exactly it. Good evening, Adam. How's the flight? Yeah, the flight. Well, this flight is okay so far. The one we just had into Dublin had a bit of a ropey end to it. Feel free to rewind and relive the magic for yourself. Yeah, we're struggling in the Fenix at the moment. Very, very tricky aircraft to get to grips with. And it's so strange, like, after the fly-by-wire I thought this would be so easy, and it's just not. But we'll get there. We'll get there with it. So we should have Anglesey beneath us. Yeah, there we go. Just about see it there. Don't suppose we can see the Isle of Man, can we? It's probably too cloudy. Yeah, no chance. So I think that's top of descent coming up. Yes, it is. In just 5 miles. So the lowest we're going to get to prior to intercepting the glide slope is 3,500. Go. Do some more drag by the look of it. Right, let's look at our landing data. So the wind is 170 and 5 knots. That is much more agreeable than what we had on the way into Dublin. So let's hope that it actually is that. (15 degrees, 1012). Let's have a look at the charts. Decision height 449. There we go. If we're using the radio altimeter, obviously 200, but based on what the plane will see. 449 in Barrow. Telling us just to put our speed brakes away because no longer required as we're now on profile. Oh yeah, Navigraph's so good, Adam. If you're just flying solo, much like I am right now, probably don't really need it. You can make do with like ChartFox, things like that. Free alternatives. But if you're on VATSIM, obviously the controllers are going to be using it, so it makes sense for you to be singing off the same sheet, if that makes sense. Otherwise you can get into a bit of a pickle. Right, while we're just going to work through our descent, I just need to quickly pop back into the house for like 2 minutes. I'll be right back, okay? Right, I'm back. Sorry, that took a bit longer than I thought. Alright, let's get lights on, shall we? Oh yeah, Dale, the sim is such a money pit, it's unbelievable, but what are you going to do, eh? I appreciate it, Nuclear. Welcome on in. And yeah, sorry about that landing. Jiminy. Yeah, that one was a doozy. Definitely struggling with this Fenix, which is why I wanted to do the stream the way I've done it today, rather than doing like 1-2 hour flight to like Spain or somewhere. I kind of wanted to try and get a couple under my belt. What would you guys think about a stream where we don't actually fly anywhere specifically, but we mess around with FSI panel and just kind of take requests? Land here, land there, land there. And then that way I get loads of practice in. I don't know whether just constant landings would get boring for people. So here we go. Here's the route. Up to the airfield, out and around, teardrop and back. Then I probably will have to go, because I need to go and pick up my new iPhone. Yay! If we can only just get a good landing, then I can walk away happy and enjoy my new phone without kicking myself about today's stream. Yeah, for sure, Nuclear. I can see the views go way up when we're near to the airport. You can definitely see the spikes in the graph. But then I don't know if it's like landing after like 2 or 3 people just get fed up and go. Don't know. Maybe we could do it where we take requests. Kind of I put a poll up. And then during each landing. So say we're at Heathrow, we'll do a poll to like where should the next airport be. We do a few landings at Heathrow, then go to the next airport and the next one and so on and so forth. That'd be something fun to try, see if people like it, see if people don't. Try anything once. Okay, or maybe we'll do that next stream. Give it a go, shall we? Because I feel like landings is basically what I need right now. I need practice, especially in the Fenix. So, yeah, wouldn't be the worst thing in the world for me. Ooh, what's going on with my frames? I've already forgotten what our local pressure was. 1012. Not entirely sure I follow what you're saying, Aiden. Given that we're coming into land. Hey Loco, how you doing? Gonna go to Miami in the A330. From where? That's the question. Maybe I hadn't thought we were in the climb. That could make more sense. I could understand that. That then. Very pretty approach this, isn't it, into Manchester? There's our shadow. Rome. Very nice. It's going to take a minute. Okay, so things to look out for. Do not go beneath the glide slope. That's a nasty habit of mine, that. Okay, so auto brake medium.
$2,500.
Alright, gear down. go. Actually feeling a bit nervous, not gonna lie. That one in Dublin's not done a lot for the old confidence. Okay, gear down, auto brake medium, lights are on, flaps full, ground spoilers armed. At least the wind is currently in our favour. Just about starting to see the runway now. There we go. Okay, my plane. Teeny tiny movements. See, this is where we normally start to dip beneath the glide slope, so I'm trying extra hard here to stay above it, but without, of course, going too high, which is its own set of challenges as well.
1,000.
Okay, so far so good. It's wanted to dip again. Let's do it again. Just like it did last time. Why did it do that? Felt like I didn't really push it down to do that.
$500.
Okay, looking out the window now.
100 above.
Thanks, frames.
Minimum.
Continue.
Light
100.
slope.
Ah! Frames.
Light slope.
40. 30. 20. Retard. 5.
That's better. A little bit better. But we're getting thrown all over the runway. Yikes. Oh man, that frame dip did not help there at the end. That was a little bit better. Must remember to thank my computer for doing that. That was alright, that wasn't bad. I'll give that a 7 out of 10. God, I've got to get a new computer. Man. That was a proper dip, wasn't it, there, like at about 100 feet. I definitely feel like I need to get better at kind of... What's the best way to put it? Like riding the wave, I think is probably the best way to put it. That feeling that you get where you know you're on the glide slope. And just as you start to feel like you're going to dip below, you bring it back up. But I feel like when that happens, I bring it back up too high, then it's like, oh no, I'm too high, then you push back down, then it's, oh no, I'm too low, then you pull back up, and you sort of go up and down like a yo-yo. That's the risk, I think. Which I think is why an FSI panel stream might not be the might not be the worst idea. I mean, for sure I will take that landing compared to Dublin. That was a home run compared to Dublin. But there's still work to be done, that's for sure. I should have used Mackham's joke, actually, when we were in Dublin. Comedy genius, that guy. What was it? Dublin's the biggest city in the world because it keeps Dublin and Dublin and Dublin and Dublin. Love it. And no, I will not grow up. Right, where can we park? It's quite busy. Thank you all for today anyway. It's been a lovely little stream. It really has. I've very much enjoyed myself. Can we get down here? Yeah, let's get down here. If it weren't for my new iPhone being sat in a store waiting for me to go and get it, I would consider flying somewhere else, but I'm not going to lie, I really want to go and get my new iPhone so badly. And I've only got a limited window of time to do it today, so I'm going to have to cut this one a bit short. But fear not, we'll be back. We will be back. Oh look, just in time for the rain. Here we go, this one will do. ...280 feet per minute for those wandering on that landing, which is alright, I would say. I tend not to obsess over those numbers so much anymore anyway, I know some people tend to. Dale, are you outing yourself as an Android user? Yeah, love me some iPhone, unfortunately. Alright. Welcome to Manchester. Thank you all so much indeed for your company and for your patience, especially with that Dublin one. I mean, blimey. Yikes. But still, if you're not subbed to the channel, get subbed, ring the bell, because we do go live at various different points, sometimes in the evenings, sometimes this time of day. Obviously that's all going to vary depending on your time zone, but UK evenings and UK kind of mornings is generally the norm. So yeah, by getting subbed and ringing the bell, at least if we do go live and you can make it, you should hopefully get notified. I do try and schedule them beforehand as well, so keep an eye out for those. But thank you all so much indeed. Have a great rest of your Tuesday and take the very best care of yourselves. I will see you next time. Cheers.